The mansion was beautiful, yes, but it was also known for one dark secret: no maid lasted more than a week. Every woman who came to care for Mr. Jonathan Hale's only daughter, Emily, left in tears. Some said the child was spoiled, others whispered she was impossible. But the truth? No one ever stayed long enough to find out. When Maria stepped through those heavy oak doors for the first time, she wasn't thinking about rumors. She was just grateful for the job. Widowed, young, and carrying the weight of her own struggles, Maria had learned to survive with little. She thought, how hard could one little girl be? But she quickly discovered Emily wasn't like other children. At only 7 years old, Emily seemed angry at the world. She threw tantrums, screamed at the staff, and locked herself away in her room for hours. When Maria brought food, Emily would push the tray over. When Maria tried to help her dress, Emily would kick and cry. Most people would have quit right there. But Maria didn't. She noticed something others didn't. Behind the child's anger, there were eyes filled with pain. One rainy evening, Maria found Emily sitting under her bed, clutching a small teddy bear. Her cheeks were streaked with tears. Instead of scolding her, Maria sat on the floor, close enough to show she was there but far enough not to intrude. She softly said, "You don't have to come out. I'll just sit here with you until the thunder passes." Minutes turned into an hour. Emily didn't speak, but when Maria got up to leave, the little girl whispered, "Everyone always leaves me." Those 5 words pierced Maria's heart. She realized Emily's bad behavior wasn't about being spoiled, it was about being scared. Scared of losing people. Scared of being alone. The next day, Maria tried something different. Instead of insisting Emily eat at the grand dining table, she spread a small picnic blanket in the garden and invited her teddy bear too. At first, Emily rolled her eyes. But soon, she giggled as Maria poured tea into tiny cups and treated the bear like a guest of honor. For the first time in years, Emily laughed. Days turned into weeks, and a bond began to bloom. Emily started waiting by the stairs every morning for Maria. She still had her storms, but Maria didn't run from them, she weathered them. She listened when Emily shouted. She hugged her when Emily cried. And slowly, the little girl who drove everyone away began to open her heart. One night, Mr. Hale returned from a long business trip. He was a man who could close million-dollar deals without flinching, yet when it came to his daughter, he felt helpless. But as he stood in the doorway, he saw something he hadn't seen in years: Emily asleep peacefully, her tiny hand clutching Maria's sleeve. He pulled Maria aside and asked, almost in disbelief, "How did you do it? No one has ever lasted this long." Maria smiled softly. She didn't need someone to control her. She needed someone to stay. It was then Jonathan Hale realized he'd been trying to fix Emily's behavior with rules, tutors, and money, when all she ever needed was love and presence. The emotional climax came weeks later, when Emily fell seriously ill with a high fever. Doctors rushed in, staff panicked, but Emily wouldn't let anyone near her, except Maria. She clung to her like a lifeline, whispering through fevered lips, "Promise you won't leave me." Maria stayed by her side night after night, cool cloths on her forehead, gentle lullabies in the dark. When Emily finally recovered, her first words were, "I knew you'd keep your promise." And that day, Jonathan Hale cried, truly cried, for the first time since his wife passed. From then on, Maria wasn't just a maid. She became family. Emily called her Mama Maria, and the mansion, once filled with echoes of anger, filled with laughter instead. The truth was never that no maid could handle Emily. The truth was, no one had loved her enough to try. And Maria, ordinary, gentle Maria, did the impossible simply by staying when it was hardest, by seeing the hurt behind the tantrums, by showing a lonely child that love doesn't run away. Because sometimes, the greatest wealth isn't in the mansion you live in or the millions in your bank account, it's in the moments when someone chooses to love you, not because they have to, but because they want to. And that was the miracle Maria gave both Emily and her father. Ending note for narration. In a world where it's easier to walk away, may we all remember the power of staying. Sometimes, kindness is the greatest miracle of all.